Thank you so much. I've been so looking forward to presenting this to you. And this campaign, it started as an initiative from our board and our administration to communicate better with people in Norway, because we do have challenges with regards to our reputation. Many people think outside of Norway that Norway is all Norwegians know about the amazing seafood industry. That is not the case. We've known for a long time that we needed to communicate better, and this has been really more and more important as new regulatory measures have come into place, and the whole license to operate has been challenged in many ways in our industry. So it actually started as that initiative, and while we were developing this campaign strategy, we did get a lot of really bad attention in the media, and then we had to take that into consideration when developing the campaign. So I think initially we wanted to have a more positive approach, but we soon realized we needed to be more humble when communicating with our target audiences. So this is like the backdrop of where we stood in developing this campaign. We had a record dump in our reputation score. We went down to 29 from like 45, 48, and then it stooped from 42 to 29. And that is a dramatic fall. And the seafood industry also has seen a drop in 2024. And we see that people get more and more of their they base their impression of our industry more and more on what they learn from the media. So we know that when we have really bad media stories out there, that's going to have an effect, an impact on the reputation. And we've seen previously that even though the industry has had bad press and had a bad impression and reputation amongst people, salmon as a product has not suffered from that. Salmon has been really strong. But in the recent years, we've seen that salmon is kind of being drawn down with the industry reputation at large. So we have been working a lot more with the Norwegian Seafood Council now, because they handle the whole consumer side of this, and we are more the industry related. So that's been an interesting development. And this guy here in this photo is from a news article, I think from last year. His name is Doug Fletmo, and he works in the DNB, the bank. And he says that the biggest financial threat for the salmon industry is our reputation. And that's really a wake-up call. So it's important to say that we have been really breaking new ground with this campaign. We want to do what we call in comms perception management. We want to get into people's heads and change the negative impressions they might have about our industry. And that's one of the hardest things you can do. And it's important to remember that we see a great divide between the industry itself and the public, especially in urban areas. People in the industry are really proud of what they do, and people who have no idea what we're doing have no sense of the same pride. So our goal has been to strengthen the license to operate and build reputation. And at the same time, we have to make sure that the messaging we are putting out there is aligned with how people in the industry see themselves. So that's been really difficult to align those two, because we have many and strong opinions in the industry. So in developing this messaging boards and this strategy, it's been really difficult, and an exercise in diplomacy to try to get people in the same framework. So and the bottom line is that we are seen as a money-making industry. We are always referenced to having a lot of money and making a lot of money, being successful, and when we are in that position, we have no excuse for not taking good care of our fish. And when people see images of fish that's has suffered and bad looking fish, people think that we don't care about the fish, we care about money. And this picture here is from one of the fish farmers in Norway, who is featured in this commercial that we showed on TV in Norway and lots of other places. And she starts off this commercial by saying, "When I see fish that's not in a good state, I get very upset." And that's quite a new and dramatic approach to this situation. So Norway has always been a seafood nation, and we all know these success stories. The number one exporter of seafood in the world. It's really something to be proud of, and we have this infinite view, this endless horizon of what we want to do and achieve for Norway and the world. But not everyone shares this view. This picture is taken in Oslo, downtown Oslo, from August 2024, and it says here in the graffiti that fish farming is vandalism. And I often use this photo to illustrate how far we can be sometimes from the pride we feel being in this industry and the perception that is out there, and as I said, especially in urban areas. So our strategy in developing this campaign has been to find a balance between being proud of what we have achieved and where we are, with a humbleness and taking responsibility for the problems we have, and not say that the farming industry on land has much bigger issues. Look at them. That's whataboutism, which we want to avoid at any cost, and also what we have been known for is to say no comment. And that's also a big problem that's led to people having a perception of us as a very closed industry. So with this approach, trying to find this balance between these two, because the people in the industry want to be proud and the critics expect humbleness. So trying to align those two has been really challenging, but we know that we have found a really good sweet spot in between there. And also taking that approach will surprise somewhat the audience, because they don't expect our industry to speak like that. They expect us to say no comment, or this is really not a problem because this and that. So for us to say, yes, we do have challenges, and if you join me, I will explain to you how we work every day to solve them. So that's kind of the core of the strategy here. So what you see here is the front page of the web page, which is like the landing page and the center of the universe for this campaign as it develops further on. It's the URL is seafood sjomat.no, just so not to be mistaken for seafood, which is the Seafood Council. But anyways, the text you see here is: selv om vi har oppnådd mye, det mye som skal gjøres bedre. And a translation for that is, although we have achieved a lot, which is us being proud, which is us being, really proud of what we have achieved and expressing where we are, we follow that with saying we will improve a lot. We have a lot to still work on. And we use the word will as a way of being, leaning into it and taking responsibility. So we don't say must or should or anything. We say we will improve this. So that's kind of a promise also of how we approach the future. I'm gonna see now if I can show you the campaign video. It's always technical issues, and the sound is all obviously in Norwegian and not with subtitles. So I'll see if we can make that work. Regardless, I will send you a link so you can watch it. I think this is the long version.
Kristin, we don't hear the
Oh,
sound, but maybe this is, I mean, we
sorry.
would check that with the link that you will
Okay.
send. But we have a good idea of the pictures. Thanks.
Good. Okay. So what they say is that basically we are the number one exporter, 16 billion meals a day, all of these things. But they also say that we're not the welfare of the fish, that it's not good enough. We have to keep working. We have to set an example. And it starts off kind of dark and it moves us into the light. So that's kind of how we want to be perceived also as an industry, maybe seen as being in the dark, but now moving into the light and opening up. I'm going to show you some other outtakes. This is how it was seen out in Oslo and around. And in this boards, we say that we deliver one of the world's most popular foods, but we have to deliver better when it comes to the welfare of the fish. And we say down here, read more about what we have achieved and what will do better on this URL. So this is what I mean with the duality of the campaign throughout. We say one positive and we balance it with something a bit negative. I won't read all of these to you, but we have also developed these on the basis of what we know people are concerned about, and we know especially, and what people find positive with our industry. They know we create a lot of jobs along the coast. So we say that we are creating jobs in all of Norway, but we have to work more with the welfare of the fish. So we're balancing these messages throughout, and then all of these boards where we've just used really elegant photos, quite quite a dark impression to catch people's attention, because we wanted to do something a bit different than what you usually see. So these have been all around. These are when you scroll on your phone in your Snapchat or whatever, you have seen this, and we used live pictures to get some more movement in the boards. We also made some print ads like this, had them out in Easter copies of newspapers and magazines, and in a text like this we can add some more, because we always want to say a lot, but that's not easy in short commercials or boards. And of course, we have used this landing page a lot to as a hub for all of these articles. We've used what they call scrollytelling. So, you scroll down and you get more and more information throughout. We try to make these stories about the industry really easy, really engaging, and to tell them in quite a different way. And you've seen a lot of these ads around in natives, as they call them, in the media. Yeah, so that this is how they've been visible to people in Norway. Just touch upon the website, sjomat.no. You're very welcome to take a look. And then you'll get an impression on how we present our industry to the world. And we are now developing this further on. I'm going to share a bit with you about the results of the campaign, because we started this around February and it went on to May. And we did a lot of testing throughout to get as much knowledge and insights as possible to this. And what we know so far is that we're on to a really good start. This is a really strong campaign, and it's scored well on all the important parameters. We know that 53% of those who were exposed to the campaign has gained more trust in the industry. 67% agree that the industry is taking responsibility for the challenges that we have. 61% say that we are humble, and that's a really good score too. And 64% say that the messaging comes across well. They understand what we are saying, because this is quite complex. It's not like we're selling a bar of chocolate. We are communicating on behalf of an industry that we want to take more responsibility for society. I'm just gonna also, this slide is not perfect because I removed the Norwegian text, but this is really a way of using these channels when developing communications. And in September, about a month ago, we had some really awful stories in the media. And here it says, fish that died from itself, not slaughtered, but just died because of illness or whatever, was being sorted to be food for people. That's what it says in this article, and that was not the case. But there was the food authorities were out, and they caught some what should I say, deviations from the regulatory framework. So some things that shouldn't have happened did happen, and this is the worst thing for us to see how people are subjected to these kinds of stories. It's so destructive for the trust in the quality of the fish and the industry at large. So what we did, in addition to talking to the media and developing a good strategy for how you try to regain trust, we also use this sjomat.no landing page. We created a new article about quality and control to show all the mechanisms that are in place to make sure that no fish that's died of itself ever reaches the grocery store. So, and we put out these native articles here and there to make sure, we address the concerns that people might have. So that's been, it's more than an ad campaign. It can be used as a tool throughout. As we develop this further now, our board has just approved another round of this, so we will start working on on the news stories, and finding out the right channels to reach our target audiences, because now we have so much insight that we know how to, who to reach through what media, and that in itself is really, really important. We will see how we balance on this scale from proud to humble, and maybe we can push more along the coast, stories of pride, and more in the urban areas with a humble approach. So we have the flexibility with this strategy to develop content based on who we want to reach. This is all in Norwegian, but it's just an illustration on how we we have this campaign in the core, and we have this web page and this landing page, and we have all of kinds of topics that we know are important to people. Many things we will repeat because the concerns regarding fish welfare, fish health, mortality, it remains there. So we have to keep addressing that. Sustainability is always important. Food safety, all kinds of technological developments, and we will keep building this universe based on what we know people need to know more about, and of course what we want to tell. So that's where we are now. I'm really excited to start developing this further from where we are now, because we do constantly have challenges. We do constantly have issues in the media, and we have to address that with all the measures we have. But we have to remember to get out there with the messages we want to tell people also. And one last point is that we are so often linked to money, to faceless people, and some very rich people. So an important factor of this campaign is to lift out people who work in the industry, because we believe that we build trust by through people working in seafood and salmon farming. They are the best ambassadors we can have, and we have so many of them, and there are so many things happening now to get people talking. So it's a really positive development here in Norway. All right, I think I am through my presentation there, so I will stop sharing, and I will open up for whatever reflections or questions you might have.